Hello?
Hello.
There you go. Gotcha.
Yes.
Well, now if I'm on the line, then you're on the air.
What do you mean?
This is your podcast interview.
Oh, that's true. I mean, on the air. Oh my God.
There you go. How are you?
I'm good. It just has so much things to do before the opening.
Your show looks amazing. Once again, visually, the imagery I saw is stunning. The artists you have look so compelling, and again, the topic is something so deep it would take about 3 hours just to discuss.
Yeah, that's true.
But tell our listeners a little bit about your show.
Yeah, so my show and our show, and it's about the environmental issue that we are facing right now in this planet. It's been happening like past 40 years and no one cared much, but lately people finally started think about it. And since I think 2015, 16, I started to have an environmental event I was organizing, and that inspired me to create to address or creating some awareness towards what is going on. And this show is contaminated like a poisoned ocean, and inside of the ocean, the sea creatures are dying. And one of the inspirations for this is because some people asked me what we can do. We cannot do anything. And I said, if you fall in love with someone, you will be nice to the person, right? Then why not to fall in love with Earth, or fall in love with sea creatures, fall in love with ocean, and then you will be nice to them.
Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, and I said it, and then that's kind of nice to create that way. So sea creatures are suffering, and sea creatures are poisoned by human products, human garbage. They don't know that's garbage. They think that's a new food or a new friend. So they do whatever they want to do, but they are dying.
Right.
Yeah, so that's the kind of starting point of the show, and then going to like more in the street, like what is the cause, and to create this global warming, why we are hurting and harming the earth, and actually that's coming from us. And because of this modern society and civilization, we started to lose the sense of connection, like a good connection between people. So there are two elements. Yes, it's the environmental issue, but also the human side. That's called N. N is a Japanese word, and it's about relationship or connection between not only humans but also places or animals or jobs, like anything you encounter in your life. And sometimes good relationship, sometimes not good relationship. But we can create a good relationship with people, places, objects, or any living beings. And that's a concept coming from Japan, but I thought it's nice to combine those human relationship that human encounter and what is going on in nature. So the ensemble is going to bring their own piece. They created a piece about dance of life that they have been living their own lives, and they encounter several people. But it's our choice to make a good relationship, to make some change to own behavior towards someone. And it's bad. You can cut it, but it's making a good relationship is that's a kind of a message into like inside of the show.
It's a Japanese philosophy, I believe, because this is not the first time I've heard this, where everything has a soul. You know, you even when you throw something out, you're supposed to say thank you to it for the service it gave you. It's not just garbage. It's living in some strange way.
Yeah, it is. There's something like we don't see it, but we feel it once you recognize. Like, for example, like some people or some places that you feel like really bad energy, like, oh, this is so, I don't like this place, or I don't like this person. But then sometimes only one day, if you're like traveling in a bar and just one night and just seeing someone and talking, like, wow, we have so much connection. But maybe only one night that you meet the person.
Right.
But still has like such a good connection. Like, wow, what is this?
It's that great moment that's part of your life.
Yeah, and those end, like something like, oh, we have some sort of end in this life that we met this way. It can be places, can be job that like you have a good end to what you do right now for living. So that's everything. It's sometimes beyond control. But once you recognize it, and once you asking for it, once you create the positive result for it, and it might happen a good relationship towards. But you have to do something about it to like attitude action or something like that.
It sort of verifies, if you will, that there's also a sense of spirituality in us. The fact that we can have such connection. It can't just be, we both speak the same language. It has to be, there's something much deeper. So you're sharing like a spirituality as well, which is wonderful.
It is a spirituality, and all human beings had it like a long time ago.
Yeah. Yes.
It's just like we lose the sense because it becomes such a materialism and consumerism, and it all industry. It became of course, a good result too to make our life better and like faster and comfortable. But then at the same time, there are still wars happening in the world. There are children who is starving in the world. There are kids that are born in a refugee camp and never know other world ever. So that's also the fact. And we sometimes take advantage from those like convenienceness and lose the sense of spirituality.
It seems we elevate ourselves. We think, okay, since we're not doing that, but we have a TV and we have cars and whatever, we're better. So no, we're all the same. Is this a mission of yours? Because I know when you work with Planet Connections, you had something very similar that you presented.
Yeah,
this is your mission.
Right now, it became like that because for Butoh, the dance that I do and I share and practice and teach, that brought me to connection with nature a lot. And
what is Butoh? I've seen that in so many of your press materials. What is Butoh?
Yeah, so Butoh is a contemporary dance that started in 1959 in Japan after World War II. It doesn't directly relate to the World War II, but the founder, Tatsumi Hijikata, who was dancer, and he was 19 years old. And that time in Japan is suffered from the World War II, and it's like all destruction. Mm-hmm. And it's Americanized and everyone tried to be a more American in a way, because it's 60s.
Right.
So like everything looks fantastic, and everyone tried to be a more American way. But he, as a dancer, he was wondering what is his dance, what is his creation. Well, it's not to be someone else, but what is his dance. And so he created the dance coming from his inspiration. He's like creating his own genre basically in dance. But the 60s in the world, it happened, not only him, like many dancers, like Pina Bausch, for example, in Germany. Mm-hmm. There are many creators after World War II in those 60s and 70s created new style of art. And he created he called it dance, but it's very theatrical and very experimental, very avant-garde that relate to the society. The one with a principle, like he always said, is like challenging to your own limitation of body, mind, and also society, so audience. So you have to put something that the audience doesn't want to see, but it's really happening in the world. So he put it taboo on stage a lot that time.
He forces us to look at ourselves through dance.
Yeah, because so he's born in a farm, and he not farm, but he knows in a farm area that chicken is going to be killed for dinner. That's entire world it happened in a farm, and a chicken. You think it's chicken there, but next morning the chicken is on table and in dinner, and that's usually a lot of children get traumatized for those experiences by oh my god, my friend is on the table. So that happened in a farm every day, but then the audience doesn't want to see it, a city audience doesn't want to see those things. He put it on stage, those moments.
Oh, that's great.
It was the time, the 59, what? You can't do that. So, and also he put it to the homosexuality at the time. He thought it was taboo in a way to see it in front of audience. It's happening since ancient. It's not irregular things, but it's the people got basic sexuality on stage, and that's they're offended by his work. Half of audience fascinated. So that's how he that time, but he changed in his artistic life. So many times his style changes depends on where he is and what society is, and he changes every single work, every single period. He changed his style depends on what is going on. So it's the kind of principle. It's really difficult to define what is Butoh in a way, but I believe Butoh is evolving every time, and it's coming from artist individual inspiration in what is going on to that person and the world. So this type of art form that I'm teaching, I get inspired by that. I think the mind says I have to do something with society. I think.
I was going to say, it sounds like you're following very brilliantly, because it sounds like Butoh, it shines the light of reality in our faces through art and movement, and you're doing that very clearly with global warming and taking care of our planet.
It does influence, and it changed the way me as an artist stand. And then I think I wrote one of the interview that you gave me. So there's another kind of founder called Kazuono. He's a Butoh, really, how to say, he's a very iconic person. Mm-hmm. And he worked with Hijikata Tatsumi, but he was the one who spread the seed entire Europe. He was touring 74 years old until 98.
Really?
Yeah, I know. We're all babies.
At 74, all I want to do is breathe. So, wow, I'm impressed.
Yeah, he was in world tour in 74 until 98 in the entire planet.
Wow.
So it's in Europe, people have seen Kazuo Ono's work, and they took his workshop, so that a lot of he sent those spirituality seed into the world. And what is interesting is Kazuo Ono was Christian. He was born, raised in Japan, and he is different, has a Japanese spirituality, the Shinto and the Buddhism, but also he was Christian. So I think it's very accessible towards the people who live in Europe or Western world.
I'm so glad you said that. I know so many people who are pagan or Buddhist or something like that, but yet they still maintain their Christianity, their Judaism, or whatever. It shows the universality of religion. Yes. Again, we're getting back into the spiritual notion of it.
Oh my God, yes. That's exactly how I faced is because of when I was in USA for 13 years, 13 years right now. Mm-hmm. But it's after, oh no, I'm a Shintoism, I'm a Japanese, so I cannot quite understand the side of Christianity, and I one time refused the play that I was almost casted because the person was Christian, and now I don't know if I can really embody this person. But then I went back to Japan and went to the Kazuo Ono's studio. His son, Yoshito Ono, is one of my teachers. He's now 81 years old. And it made everything make sense because whatever he said, it's so universal, and they addressed all Shinto, Buddhism, Christianism, whatever the religion is all combined in a way, in a place. Like, so we create category of, this is this, this is this, this is this, but it's towards the center in the core is very similar. And I was changed by his exercise about refugee camp kids, that studio, and this coming from all those aspects,
Right.
like Christianity, Buddhism, and Shintoism, and like every religion that like for example, compassion.
I was going to say
love.
the foundations are the same. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So the one exercise that it's really trigger was that he showed us the refugee camp kids that is very smiling, and they don't know what's going on in the world at all. They're just smiling, they're happy. And
That's their world. Yeah, they don't know any better. That's their world.
No, because that's their world. They're born and raised the entire time, and they're like, kids is playing and like smiling. And he showed us, and then we all like gasped, like, oh my god. Suddenly, we practice art and dance, and sometimes we detach some sort of reality, and that's beauty of it, of course. Like, we forget the reality and beauty of the dance, and like, oh, that's beautiful, like art for art. And I'm from the actor studio drama school, so like has been really focusing on acting and art. But then that moment, it's like, oh wow, it's real right there. And in this moment, some kid is in a refugee camp, and he said, "We are not doctor, we are not soldier, we are not politician, we are dancers. What we can do
That's great.
for them." And I was like, oh my god. Really, what we can do. And while dancing, so that's so okay. So your audience is these children in the refugee camp. Go, like he just let us dance for the refugee camp children as imaginary audience, and it changed myself that moment. Oh, I cannot cry. If I cry, children wondered why. So like. It just a sort of responsibility is a seed of responsibility that come to myself that moment, and I cannot cry, I cannot share too much my sadness of life. How I can protect these smiles? So
that's gorgeous.
It shifted. The energy.
We're speaking on September 11, and I can't not acknowledge that in some way. You struck a chord with something. I remember many years ago. I think right after it happened, Nathan Lane was on Broadway, and someone interviewed him and said, "How can you perform right now? How can you get up there and make people laugh right now? And what's going on?" And he with a shrug just said, "Look, this is my job. My job is to alleviate tensions. My job is to put a smile on your face." So when you said we are dancers, we're not doctors, we're whatever, we dance. That's we shouldn't say, oh well, we can't do that. It's not important. Everything is important. Everything is powerful.
Because sometimes life. Do you know if you know that Life is Beautiful in Italian movie?
My goodness, yes, I know the movie very well, and it touched me very deeply.
Yeah, me too. That reminded me that movie too, because of future generation. Like we sometimes we did this awful thing. Say like, learn this. You feel awful too. Rather see the possibility or some sort of hope, or give something in different energy to future generation. That you don't need to. Too much I'm still certain negative energy, but it's like something anger or towards something or bad for themselves, and more putting a possibility to the generation,
right?
Future generation, but we are not ignoring what happened, but we don't need to force them to feel. Rather, maybe we can protect their future, that they are pure. They are innocent. And maybe we can change the way that we have been repeating the history, the destruction, creation, maybe something different way.
Maybe if we changed our emotion, then that would change.
Yeah, so maybe there's some sort of just simple falling in love, like simply like caring someone, or I think, I know it's so cheesy and redundant so many times, definitely like falling in love, like a love or caring, it changes because you change your attitude.
Oh, for our listeners, Life is Beautiful was a foreign film done in the late 90s, and it was about a Jewish Italian waiter and his son who go to who are put in a concentration camp, and he doesn't want his son to suffer, so he convinces his son that he's actually in this holiday sort of vacation resort as opposed to a concentration camp. Roberto Benigni was brilliant in that, and the last line of it, which was devastating, he dies. There, spoilers. He dies, but his son survives, and when his son comes out, he turns to his mother, and he says, "Mommy, I had the best time."
Yeah.
And I remember thinking to myself, my God, what that man had to do to turn his son's whole life around like that. And if we could all do that, oh my goodness, what a great place this would be.
Yeah, so that don't repeat much.
Now you've turned your life around also. I don't know exactly what it is, and pardon me if I'm being nosy. In one of the articles, you wrote that you have an illness.
Yeah.
What illness do you have, if I can ask?
So when I was 18, 19, I lost my entire hair, the alopecia.
Mm-hmm.
So it started from losing hair, and eventually over the course of 3 months, and I lost entire hair from my body. And that's when I was 19, and tried to freshman in college, wanting to be an actress in Tokyo, and wanting to have a boyfriend, and I lost all hair and lost all those kids' dream to be going to Tokyo and do this and that, and all lost it. So then from there, it was really hard for 19 years old me. It's we can't, and in Japan also without hair, you cannot even have job. They judge. So I mean, you have to negotiate that. Maybe you can be a monk, but you have to hide because everyone has hair, especially female. And then I started wearing a wig for a year, but then after, because I wanted to be an actress, so I wanted to fix the situation, then take some, not vitamin, but some sort of medicine coming from pharmacist.
Mm-hmm.
And my long story short is I lost entire skin.
You lost what?
Entire skin.
Oh my gosh.
My skin melted because it was the most sensitive skin that I had also, but the medicine, not medicine, it's more like supplements. So it's nothing harmful inside. It's all organic. But because I was something already wounded in my legs, and then that started spreading entire body, and so basically all flesh and meat and no skin to cover. It's always the liquid is coming out, and that's a third year of college.
Oh my God!
College, yeah. So that moment I could not even only breathe that I could do. So my mom came to Tokyo and everything. So I went home and then going to hospitalized for 3-4 months, and then whole year. So I took off the college 1 year because of that.
Obviously, this was cured in you.
You mean cured?
Yeah.
No, I mean, hair is not a liquid.
Right.
Now that my head is one of the coolest things, the white mohawk is happening.
I was going to say you turned it into a fashion statement. So you did great there. But the skin ailment obviously was stopped. Yes.
Skin healed. However, this year, just recently, June, I was in a tour in Los Angeles. For my other piece is I do a Shakespeare in Butoh, the Lady Macbeth in Butoh. Butoh, Lady Macbeth.
Oh, that sounds great.
So when I was performing in that show, I got bit by flea at the Airbnb in Los Angeles.
Oh no!
And then I don't know, have you had a bit at the flea problem.
Mm-hmm.
Flea is so worse. Like entire legs got bitten, and it's Los Angeles, so it's very hot. And recently it's more humid, so it's got spreaded the entire body, and I had to perform every day.
Oh,
I mean, like five
goodness.
days. So that it's right now finally recovered, but 2 months entire summer I was suffering. And everyone like, Yoko, you have something. And like, yeah, I have sensitive skin. so it's like one thing is became huge.
And listening to you talk about it, you're just like, okay, yeah, my skin fell off and my hair fell off and whatever. Okay, but I danced.
It's 15 years ago things that those skin things and hair things. It also because I did play called Baldy. That's my first solo show that I performed in USA, created and performed. And it's about my dad and my illness. But the relationship with the father who is trying to strict toward his own daughter and expected me highly. It's very Japanese father.
Right.
But it's because I lost the skin in the hair and I had to deal with my dad in that way, the most hopeless and helpless situation. I got to know actually he cared and he loved me deeply, not hating me. So one of the turn is when we watched the Babe. Do you know the Babe, the movie, the pig movie?
Oh, of course, everyone knows Babe. Yes.
Yeah. She cried.
Oh.
He was the most mean person. When I was a teenager, I wanted to kill him because he was really, he was punishing me, beating, and it's like very expecting high. So it's like that's like the person who I have a huge grudge during the teenage time. But like, once I got weak and sickness and like a babe, so he changed his personality and he cried in the movie Babe, and me and mom were like, what? What just happened? He's crying.
Well, there you go. He saw his daughter up on that screen in some way.
So
wow.
During Mr. Hagen and dancing thing for that baby, he started crying. Like, oh my god, he's actually soft. He has a sensitive heart. He did not grow up that way because that way that his generation grew up with past time. After World War II, and everyone is like hustle.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, he grew up with very tough way, but he had a gentle heart, and I did not realize. But because of the illnesses I got to see his gentleness and his passion and his sincerity. He gave up his dream for parents. He wanted to live for his parents. So like all those I did not know that he is a human being, that he's not perfect dad, that it's like 60s American movie, like all perfect dad. Expected like that dad, but no, he's not. So that made me grow up, made me grow. That I okay, parent is a human and I'm human. We have different dreams, and so like I have to deal with my problem, my issues, my habit, and the illness that is because before it hated it, but more accepting to changing to appreciation that happened. It's 10 years. It took 10 years, and I was okay with like the skinhead and acting and everything, but then love is the most challenging one for me to skin and no hair.
Right.
But there's one person who already passed away. He's helping actor studio drama schools and business side. He was gay and he died. He died with lung stuff, but then probably we think it's probably he had the HIV.
Oh my!
We don't know, but just he died very young. He died like a 30. He died 40.
Oh, that's terrible.
And very quick. And when he was very, very active, he told me, like, Yoko, you are so gorgeous. And like, why? No, I'm not, because I don't have hair. And I'm okay with acting, but I can't fall in love with this. Like, who loves me? And he said, no, it's USA, it's America, and your skinhead is very hot. and put the makeup on and a dress and high heel, and if you're walking around, every guy turn their head to you, and I go, really? But I was so scared. I was scared to wearing even dress with skinhead and put a makeup on. But he passed away he left the world and he passed away, and I wasn't there for him that time. I was in tour. So after I went to his funeral, and then okay, I think I gotta do something that he passed me something that very important message. So I did. After he passed away, I wearing a dress and put a makeup on and no wig, high heel, and walking in East Village. And it did change.
I bet you turned so many heads.
It was like suddenly like a guy, especially in African American guys, like loves skinhead ladies. so like I was in a Starbucks and like 3 African American guys like, hey, can I have your phone number? Wow, it never happened. So it just like different. It was different, and then creating more confidence towards it's okay. This is fine. And then I put it to myself exactly like that in like online dating one time, and then some guys really loves that. So okay, so it's me creating the idea of skinhead is ugly to just Japanese culture, like my Japanese culture, and the people, I don't know, for listeners, the Alopecia big nation in the USA, and everyone got together and to gain a confidence, because it's sometimes we create the problem, and it's something that some people don't see that's beauty, that's their problem. It's not my problem. And it's me have to deal with the own illness, own problem, and that creates own confidence and enjoy the life, because it's life is not that long. Life is short.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why not enjoy it? And once we create the enjoy and shining energy, and that people will be convinced, okay, maybe this is one of the way. So skinhead or mohawk, whitehead, is if I enjoy, if I loving it, probably people get inspired by, that's maybe a cool thing, without like no judgment. It's more like, that's cool.
If you think you're gorgeous, the whole world will.
Right, exactly. So you can convince. If you can convince. So that's another way to actually reach to this show, back to the end. But because I believe that what Gandhi quoted, if you want to change the world, like you need to be the change.
Gorgeous.
I thought that's huge.
You're a living example of your own work. You have triumphed over adversity. You've changed the lives of your family. You have changed those around you, and even someone else who suffered adversity was even able to change your life. I can only imagine the energy, the power, the heart that is on stage in any one of your performances. YOKKO, thank you so much. This has been absolutely wonderful and inspirational. I am going to tell our viewers exactly how to see your amazing show, which opens up in just 2 days?
Yeah, it's Thursday.
Thursday. It opens Thursday.
Yeah.
Okay, that's tomorrow. Okay, so I'm going to get off the phone and let you go back to your show. No, Friday.
Oh. Tomorrow is a technical rehearsal. I'm sorry.
Oh, a tech rehearsal. Tech rehearsals are hell. Tech rehearsals are worse than the performances. Then I'm letting you get. I'm letting you get off the phone, and so you can get to all the fun stuff that you have to do. Thank you so much. This has been absolutely wonderful. My pleasure. My pleasure. Looking forward to everything. Ciao.
Ciao.
Bye.